Hey everybody, Mark Davis here in the wake of our Thursday, January 17th, 2013 show. And I'm at a bit of a disadvantage here on the time wheel, but let me say a few things and see how they stand up in view of what's about to unfold. As of right now, we've talked about Lance Armstrong in this interview with Oprah Winfrey for many, many days, but it has not aired yet. Maybe by the time you see this, it has, because again, I'm standing here at midday on Thursday. On the second athlete issue, we might say, we're just hours into the Manti Te'o story at Notre Dame. What? This one rained down on our heads immediately, and I'm expecting some further divulgences here during the day on Thursday where maybe we'll know whether A, Manti Te'o was the victim of a crazy hoax, or B, was the perpetrator of one. And let's deal with that first, and then we'll settle back into the broader and somewhat easier to navigate landscape of Lance Armstrong. There's going to be a big lesson that comes from this Manti Te'o thing. We just don't know what it is. If he was the victim of a hoax, I mean, we may be talking some type of mental illness here, because the only other alternative is that he's just stupid and gullible enough to be lured into a relationship for years with a woman who doesn't exist. I mean, that goes beyond dumb. I'm dumb frequently. I ain't that dumb. That gets into delusion and denial and listen, I'm prepared and ready with the proper empathy if it turns out that this almost Heisman Trophy winner is just a near mental patient. I mean, okay, we'll deal with that if that's what comes. It seems much more likely, and it saddens me to say this, but it seems much more likely that we've been hosed by him, that this was absolutely his plan. Maybe it was designed to garner a few more Heisman votes, and it may well have done it. I'll just tell you right now, thank God this guy didn't win the Heisman. Because if he had, and it does turn out that he was taking us on a little bit of a thrill ride of his own making, with a completely invented story of a girlfriend who tragically dies. I guarantee you that some Heisman voters, sure, it's on the field, but you know it's all off the field too. You do bad things off the field, it's harder to win an award. You do great things off the field, and that kind of makes people just like you more. And ultimately, all these halls of fame and Heisman voting and all that, they're big popularity contests as well as rewards for merit. So I'm glad we don't have a Heisman winner who may have been lofted to that lofty perch by a lie this big, and that's what it seems to me that this is. So it's funny, if I say I hope I'm wrong about that, then that means that he's just an unbelievably troubled, pathological young man who made this entire thing up. So my head could explode from thinking about that. So let's now go to the comparatively easy story of Lance Armstrong. Everybody I'm talking to is having a tough time compartmentalizing. They're thinking, God, I hate what he did with the doping, and especially the lying and the attempt to ruin the reputations of people who sought to spoke truth about him. I hate that. So do I have to just hate that so much that I can no longer give him credit for being a heroic cancer survivor and a heroic promoter for the cancer survival of others through the Livestrong Foundation? Flip the coin. Some people are saying, I love the Livestrong Foundation so much, and so much of the cancer fighting that Lance has done, that makes it impossible for me to be repulsed by the doping and the lying. Stop this. Unburden yourselves. Compartmentalize. There's good Lance and there's bad Lance. The good Lance deserves admiration. The bad Lance deserves our disgust. Feel free to be generous with both. I'm doing that, and it's working out real well for me. So is the show. Appreciate that if you're watching this on Thursday. Man, I don't know if we fit all this into 5 hours. Oh, by the way, our Second Amendment rights are still under assault. Yeah, the Republic still hangs by a thread. There's plenty to do in the talk show world. So we have 5 hours coming up on our Friday experience, 5 to 8 a.m. Central Time on Bill Bennett's Morning in America, and then 8 to 10 for Texas, right here on 660 a.m. The Answer. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.